What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to just Twitch on the 24-hour stream. 22 and a half hours through this, and after playing Legacy of the Duelist for a long freaking time, an actual Yu-Gi-Oh video game, people have been chasing after sign-up mining because of the promos that came out, and yeah, it's interesting because sign-up mining did see a spike, but just within these 24 hours has also seen new listings popping up with people trying to sell their copies. They're seeing an opportunity here and trying to sell into the hype, and that's something that is smart if they are saying, hey, after fees, after shipping, this is what I want, and I can be the lowest listing. I can get feedback right now and make the hot sale. It's a pretty good look, but do keep in mind we have Presales on the horizon with the special editions from Rising Rampage giving a little extra support, and then the next set giving even more. Presales is going to come into its own, and then at Ignister is going to reignite sign-up mining. Now, other people are saying I could see sign-up mining ending up in a reprint slot similar to Duelist Alliance from years ago, and I do agree with that too because it's so generic, but I don't think we'll see that for a good amount of time, at March at soonest. So that's just my opinion on it. But again, selling into the hype or listing higher, what's your strategy with sign-up mining? Or are you just trying to keep your 3 copies to play some good old Cyberse boys? Now, talking about the promos, it's actually really hard to find listings. I don't see them anywhere on TCG Player. And if you're shopping TCG Player, use my link in the description below, costing you absolutely nothing extra and supporting the channel. We're not too tired to sell out. But looking through everything, like with the promos, you don't find them on TCG Play. But on eBay, nobody's listing them by set name, which is actually LOD2. We searched it earlier. No one's bothering to use the listing name. They're just promos in hand, promos in hand. So at first people are listing them at 30. Now they're at 20. They're seeming to be inexperienced listings that could just be lost over on eBay. So that's very, very weird that nobody's just bothering to list the set name in order to make their sale. So we've seen as cheap as 20. It'll be really cool to see how far maybe these promos can take because of this kind of mysteriousness before they catch on to the market of people wanting their full play sets out of this $40 sealed game. You already got a sneak peek. I'm a little tired. It's showing. Rising Rampage Prismatic Secrets are creeping up continuously. Apollosa trying to reach back towards that $400 mark. Maritza Seahorse trying to cling on to 200. And last we looked at Win, she was in the 160s, now towards the 180s. Everything but Storm Dragon's Return going on up for the Prismatics. Again, this will only be in a first edition sealed product. Those that are being eaten up off the market and being held are going to be kind of the set quantity almost, unless people go after this sealed product that everyone's had trouble getting rid of. And now that sealed product is actually looking back towards 60. We've seen this as low as $56, $55. So it's cool to see it actually appreciate a little bit for those that waited and were holding on and not just trying to chunk it out the window. That being said, the rest of the set down even further. Apollosa, we saw it at $52, $55. Now it's under $50 on TCG Player. Coral Anemone, oh man, $25 still. Orochi is falling like crazy. People are just chunking this out, and it's very interesting to me because maybe people just don't have faith in Orcus within the format, but I still feel like this is highly underestimated, similar to Get Out. It's just that you have a top-heavy set that didn't sell well, and you have people trying to get any money they can out of it. So it's interesting to see that rise and then fall of Orochi and Get Out. Originally, it had started at $8, went to $14, back towards its $8 price point. These are really good cards overall, but again, just not impressing themselves upon the meta right now. I think they're going to find their time. Get Out's one of those cards. Power Creeps Forbidden Apocrypha. It's really freaking good. So you see that this set just having its fallout moment right now of everything is getting cheaper except the Prismatics, which are gaining traction and value. It's pretty crazy to actually stare at. Yuja also went up over the weekend and is falling back quickly. We've seen both versions up towards 29 over this weekend, and now we see the Mega Pack one back towards 26 with 2 copies, actually 3 before it's to 29. And over on eBay, a couple of copies before it heads up into that 28, 29 range. What's happening with this is duelists want to play the game. It may have a reprint coming in October, but that's a ways away considering how many YCSs with Portland coming up, YCS Fort Worth, and several between there. There's like 4 YCSs and a ton of regionals. So people need to be able to play, and unless you're waiting all the way until Duel Devastator and the next no sooner than shortly following that and just like 3 days after Duel Devastator, you kind of need your copy to play with. It's so unfortunate. Now, what many of you guys might be here for, Fist of the Gadget pre-sales are dropping on Tier 0, and some stuff have sold out. But first, I know, a bunch of lead up into it. I noticed that they have the Gold Sark tins with no tins, just contents out, meaning you get everything truthfully out there from an entire case. And I did the math, it's like just under $175, and that's free shipping with them. So you can actually pre-order without the golden tins, but I know a ton of you guys do want the golden tins, and it's not much more, just like $10 more to actually get the tins. So that's towards, you know, the 185 range. That's definitely not terrible for an entire case of tins. If you're looking to split with your friends, get them sealed, this is still very good value from them. Now, moving over here, we looked at Panda and Elephant sold out at relatively high prices when we're looking at things, because it's cheaper even on TCG Player, but TCG Player is also cheaper than eBay for once on their presale, with Panda up towards 23 and Elephant similarly quickly up towards 30 with one Canadian listing towards 24. So this is a very weird presale set for Fist of the Gadgets. We don't often see TCG Player be one of the cheapest places to be had. Elland is ridiculously high though, as we see over here, $8 on eBay. So again, it's TCG Player. I can't tell you what to expect or what they're trying to demand by holding weird lines like this together, but they're really trying to make Elland expensive over here. But yeah, selling out at even higher prices on Tier 0 for these. Eagle seems to be the card to get, and I'll expect prices maybe to fall on Tier 0 depending on how sales are going for this, and maybe seeing a restock on their out of stock, but it's pretty crazy to see this early on. Now, looking through, the rest of the set is pretty dang cheap for a side set, and as we've seen, side sets tend to just get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, but I think Fire Fist is heavily underestimated. I do think it will have a good look into the metagame. I know a lot of pros that are really starting to sniff this one out and say, wait a minute, this is what I might be playing for Portland. So, while there's a lot to learn, very early, I do think we will see it make an early appearance at Portland, but it could just completely flop as well. It depends on duelists learning it and getting it down pat, but the pre-sales, some shocking moments, some not so shocking. Drone Lock Ultimate, this came up in the live stream. It hasn't really moved in a while, and we've seen multiple formats where this is recycled in. It's from OTS Pack 8, which has been a little bit longer now, and my answer is simple to this. A, it's not a Ghost Girl, despite being an iconic hand trap. B, it does roll in and out of formats. So even if it seems good against Crusadia, good against Sky Striker, good against certain things, it still needs to have multiple waves of buyouts that take longer. Ghost Ogre is a Ghost Girl, has seen multiple formats, and is from OTS Pack 5 even further back, despite its little rehash into the system. So $75, $74, it was much higher at one point, and we see more quantities come on market, more quantities come off, depending on how formats move and what off seasons we enter. I think Droll has the potential to get there eventually, though, so I do suggest getting them and not making a mad rush for them. But I do think this is one of those things that will go up over time, but similar to Ghost Ogre, it's format dependent. It's not just a definitive good thing to have. And the commons are cheaper than ever thanks to the structure deck, completely accessible to every duelist. So it really takes a dedication to this card to want to keep it in that higher rarity. That being said, thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. Be it live here on stream, 23 freaking hours into the stream, or, catching it on YouTube. I thank you so much for all the support from you guys that have been watching. I couldn't be here and doing the same thing without any of y'all. So, looking through the market, what are your decisions on these early prices from both the Megatons and being able to find secure cases, and also Fist of the Gadgets on tier 0, and then the rest of the market, seeing that some pieces actually oddly came out cheaper and other ridiculously expensive on TCG Player, and how kind of mass spread and confusing pre-sales are getting for this set. It's one of the weirdest things I've seen, and maybe it's just me being tired, but man, it smells just funky the way it's spread out and awkward. Thanks for watching, everybody.